Chapter 1: The Myth of Control. We are born into a world that teaches us to hold on tightly. Control is praised. Planning is power. And certainty a sign of success. From a young age, we're conditioned to believe that life must be managed, directed, organized. We create to-do lists, 5-year plans, backup strategies. We chase security as if it could ever truly exist. But here's the truth no one tells you. Control is a myth. It gives the illusion of safety, the illusion of power, but in reality, it creates tension. The more we try to hold everything together, the more fragmented we become inside. We cling to expectations. We micromanage the flow. We try to fix, force, and figure out what's not even ours to hold. And in that grasping, we lose our connection to the very thing we long for most. Peace. Peace cannot be controlled. Love cannot be managed. Life cannot be boxed or bent into our preferences. What we're really seeking is not control, but trust. Not dominance, but alignment. Not rigid plans, but the soft intelligence of surrender. Control tells us, if you don't act, it will all fall apart. But trust says, even in stillness, everything is working out. Control is rooted in fear. Trust is born from love. The irony is that the more we try to control, the more life feels chaotic. Because in that very attempt, we resist the natural flow. The same flow that has kept the sun rising, hearts beating, and rivers moving for all of time. Your mind will say, but if I don't plan, won't I fall behind? If I don't take charge, won't things go wrong? If I don't control, how will I stay safe? But your soul gently whispers, let go. Trust the unfolding. Rest in the rhythm. This chapter is an invitation to begin loosening your grip. Not all at once, not by force, but moment by moment. To notice where your fists are clenched internally. To see where you've been forcing outcomes that never truly felt aligned. To breathe into the places where fear has become your guide. Letting go isn't passive. It's deeply courageous. It takes more strength to trust the river than to try and swim against it. And that's what this journey is about. Not escaping life, but finally learning how to meet it. Not with armor, but with openness. The illusion of control has exhausted you long enough. Now it's time to return. To flow, to faith. To the quiet knowing inside. You were never meant to carry it all. Chapter 2: The Inner War. There is a war that most of us don't even realize we're fighting. It doesn't take place outside, in the world of armies or politics. It happens within, quietly, relentlessly, between the mind that seeks control and the soul that longs for freedom. We wake up with tension in our chest, a feeling that we must do something. Fix something, prove something. The pressure is invisible, but it governs everything. How we speak, how we act, even how we breathe. We become our own captors, trapped in loops of overthinking, self-doubt, and the belief that if we just tried a little harder, everything would finally be okay. But that okay never arrives. Because the bar keeps moving. The mind keeps saying, not enough yet. Do more. Be better. This is the inner war. a silent battle between striving and surrender, between tension and truth. You might not see it at first. It hides beneath ambition, perfectionism, and even spiritual seeking. But it's there every time you tighten, every time you judge yourself, every time you rush out of the present moment in search of something more. The ego wants certainty. The soul wants presence. The ego demands outcomes. The soul offers peace. When we are at war within ourselves, even rest feels dangerous. Even joy feels undeserved. Even stillness feels like failure. And so we stay in motion, not because we are free, but because we are afraid. Afraid that if we stop trying, we will disappear. Afraid that if we let go, we will fall apart. Afraid that if we soften, we will lose control. But what if the opposite is true? What if softening is how we remember our strength? What if stillness is where clarity arises? What if the war within was never necessary in the first place? You are not broken for feeling this tension. It's not a personal flaw. It's a universal wound, rooted in a culture that glorifies hustle and punishes rest. But you are not your conditioning. You are not your fear. And this war within is not your home. The truth is, you don't need to force your way into healing. You don't need to fix what was never broken. You only need to return, again and again, to the gentle space of awareness within you. The place that watches without judgment. The space that breathes without needing to earn. The presence that holds all parts of you, especially the ones at war. You don't win the inner battle by fighting harder. You transcend it by no longer participating. When you no longer believe every fearful thought. When you no longer react to every anxious impulse. When you learn to sit, even for a moment, with what is. The war softens. The noise fades. And peace, long buried beneath all the effort, begins to rise. You were never meant to fight yourself. You were meant to remember yourself, to meet yourself, to love yourself fully, quietly, without condition. This chapter is your reminder. The battle ends when you choose peace, not perfection. And that choice is always available now. Chapter 3: Surrender is not giving up. When most people hear the word surrender, they immediately think of failure. They imagine someone collapsing in defeat, walking away from responsibility, or admitting they've lost the battle. But surrender, true surrender, is not weakness. It is not apathy. It is not giving up. Surrender is an act of spiritual strength. It is the decision to stop fighting life and to start listening. To stop controlling every outcome, and to start trusting the deeper intelligence behind it all. You are not meant to micromanage the universe. And yet we've been taught that letting go means we don't care. That softness means passivity. That trust is naive. But nothing could be further from the truth. Surrender is the moment you realize that your ego is exhausted and your soul is ready to lead. It's when you stop pushing the river and let it carry you. Not because you're lazy, but because you finally remember the river knows where it's going. To surrender is to shift from control to connection, from fear to flow, from tension to truth. It doesn't mean you stop taking action. It means your action comes from alignment, not anxiety. The world says, take charge, make it happen, force the outcome. But your soul whispers, be still, listen, trust the unfolding. When we surrender, we don't abandon our goals. We release the need to force them. We show up with presence instead of pressure. We act from inspiration, not desperation. Because the truth is, the most powerful movements in life often arise from stillness. The most meaningful decisions are born in silence. And the greatest changes come not from pushing harder, but from letting go. You may ask, but if I surrender, won't everything fall apart? The opposite is usually true. It is when we stop resisting what is that clarity begins to arise. It is when we stop grasping for control that life starts moving in unexpected and beautiful ways. Surrender is not about resignation. It is about recalibration, recentering, returning. It's the willingness to say, I don't have all the answers, but I trust that life does. I don't know what's next, but I am guided. I don't need to hold this all alone, I am supported. Letting go is not giving up. It is giving over to something deeper, wiser and more spacious than the mind can comprehend. Your nervous system doesn't want more control. It wants more safety. And true safety isn't found in overplanning. It's found in presence, in connection, in trust. This chapter is a sacred reminder. Surrender is not defeat. It is devotion. It is saying yes to life, exactly as it is, while remaining open to all that it can become. So breathe, soften, and let yourself be held. The river is moving, with or without your effort. Your only task is to float. Chapter 4, the body remembers ease. Your mind may forget, but your body remembers. It remembers a time before the pressure, before the expectations, before you learn to armor yourself just to survive. There is a wisdom in your cells that predates every story of fear, lack, and unworthiness. A memory of ease, of being, of simply existing without the need to earn love, prove value, or perform worthiness. The body holds this memory like a whisper beneath all the tension. And when you slow down, really slow down, you can hear it again. Most of us live from the neck up, trapped in the loops of thought, judgment, comparison. The mind races to solve everything, to protect you, to keep you in control. But the body is always in the now. It doesn't worry about tomorrow. It doesn't replay yesterday. It lives here, in this breath, this heartbeat, this moment. And in this moment, there is no emergency. In this moment, there is no war to fight. Only sensation. Only life happening. When we begin to reconnect with the body, we come home to something ancient and sacred. We remember what it means to feel safe without being perfect, to feel worthy without achieving more, to feel connected without explaining ourselves. This is not just about relaxation. It is about reclamation, reclaiming your birthright to feel good, to feel whole, to feel at ease in your own skin. So many spiritual paths focus on ascending, rising above, transcending, escaping the body. But what if true healing isn't about going up, but going in? Not about leaving the body, but returning to it. To sit with your breath like a trusted friend. to move with gentleness, to feel your feet on the ground and know, I belong here. The body is not a problem to fix. It is a place to listen, to honor, to soften into. It knows what you've been through. It has held your grief, your joy, your fear, your hope. And through it all, it has kept whispering, you are safe. You are loved. You are enough. Even when your mind forgets, your body remembers. So let yourself rest. Let yourself feel. Let yourself breathe deeply, slowly, fully. Ease is not something you have to achieve. It is something you return to. It is the ground beneath the noise, the stillness beneath the striving, the truth beneath the trauma. This chapter is an invitation to lay down your armor, to stop performing, and to remember the ancient rhythm that lives within you. You are not here to fight your body. You are here to befriend it, because healing doesn't always look like doing more. Sometimes it looks like doing less and feeling more. And in that softness, you remember, you were never meant to live in tension. You were meant to live in truth. Chapter 5, Receiving Without Earning. From the time we are children, we are taught a subtle but powerful message. You must earn your worth. Be good and you get rewarded. Work hard and you'll be accepted. Succeed and you'll be loved. It becomes a silent contract we carry into adulthood. One that whispers, if I do enough, achieve enough, prove enough, then I will finally deserve to receive. But this contract is based on a lie. The truth is, receiving is your nature. It is not a prize you must win, but a birthright you must remember. You were never meant to chase love, abundance, or peace. You were meant to allow it. The tree does not earn the sunlight. The ocean does not prove it deserves the moon. The flower does not hustle to bloom. And yet, humans are caught in a cycle of proving and pleasing, striving and surviving, all while the heart quietly longs to rest, to open, to receive. What if receiving has nothing to do with your effort? What if it has everything to do with your openness? We've been conditioned to feel guilty for rest, ashamed of asking for help, and unworthy of ease. But that's not truth, that's programming. Real receiving requires releasing. Letting go of the story that says you must earn your place in this world. Letting go of the belief that your value depends on your output. You are not a machine. You are a soul. And your soul is not here to be efficient. It is here to be alive, to feel, to dance, to breathe in the beauty of existence. In a world obsessed with hustle and grind, receiving becomes an act of rebellion, a sacred return to softness, a declaration that says, I am enough, not because of what I produce, but because of who I am. Let that sink in. You are enough even when you rest. You are worthy even when you do less. You are loved even when you stop trying so hard. The universe is not withholding from you. It is waiting for you to open. Because true receiving is not passive. It is deeply conscious. It is allowing joy without guilt, support without shame, love without walls. It is saying, I don't have to control this, I trust it. I don't have to chase this, I attract it. I don't have to force this, I welcome it. Receiving is not about getting everything you want. It's about allowing in what's already flowing toward you. It's about making space, clearing the noise, coming into alignment with the frequency of yes. So today, let go of the proving. Let go of the perfectionism. Let go of the voice that says you must be more to receive love, rest, or grace. You are already enough. You always have been. The question is not, how do I earn it? The question is, can I let it in? Because the door to receiving was never locked. It was only waiting for you to open it. Chapter 6. Life responds to your frequency. Everything is energy. This is not a spiritual metaphor, it's physics. At the most fundamental level, you are not a body, not even a mind. You are vibration, a field of frequencies, constantly interacting with the energy of life itself. And here's the most powerful truth. Life doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. Most people try to create their reality by changing their thoughts. They affirm, they visualize, they repeat mantras. But nothing truly shifts unless the frequency shifts. You can say, I am abundant all day long. But if your body vibrates with fear, doubt, and scarcity, that's what life will echo back. Because the universe doesn't hear your words. It feels your signal. This is why effort without alignment leads to exhaustion. You can work hard, think positively, and still feel stuck. Not because you're doing it wrong, but because you're being out of sync. So what does it mean to align your frequency? It means to embody the state of being you wish to live in. Before the evidence shows up. If you want peace, become peace now. If you want love, vibrate as love now. If you want abundance, feel whole and safe now. This is not pretending. This is not denial. This is conscious creation. You're not faking a feeling. You're tuning into a deeper truth. The truth that your essence is already whole, already worthy, already free. You shift your frequency not through control, but through presence. By noticing, what am I resonating with? What am I amplifying with my attention? Because where your attention goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, reality grows. You don't manifest what you should have. You manifest what you're a match for. So check in. Are you living in resistance or receptivity? Fear or trust? Force or flow? Remember, frequency is not about faking positivity. It's about choosing authenticity. The more you allow yourself to feel fully, the more your energy becomes coherent. And coherent energy is magnetic. People feel it. Opportunities align to it. Synchronicities increase around it. This is why the most powerful creators are not the loudest, richest, or most strategic. They are the most attuned, the most present, the most relaxed in their being. They don't chase, they transmit. So if life feels chaotic, don't rush to fix the external. Tune your inner signal. Shift from doing to being. Ask yourself, what frequency am I sending right now? Then soften, open, align, because the law is simple. Life mirrors your state of being. It echoes your essence, not your effort. You don't have to convince life to bless you. You only have to become available to receive. And that begins by remembering, you are not here to force reality. You are here to flow with it. Chapter 7. Trust is the true magnet. If there is one energy that quietly transforms everything, it is trust. Not the fragile kind of trust that depends on outcomes, but the deep, quiet trust that says, I don't know how, but I know I'm held. This trust is magnetic, not because it forces things to happen, but because it allows things to unfold. We are conditioned to believe that control is strength, that the more we plan, push, and predict, the safer we'll be. But control is often rooted in fear. The fear that if we let go, things will fall apart. And yet, every truly beautiful moment in life, love, healing, transformation, has happened not through control, but through surrender. The most powerful magnet in the universe is not your willpower. It's your trust, because trust signals to life, I am ready to receive without chasing. I am open to guidance without needing guarantees. I believe that life is for me, not against me. When you trust, your nervous system relaxes. Your energy softens. You become a clear channel for wisdom, synchronicity, and support. You stop trying to control the path and start listening to it. And that shift changes everything. We are not here to control reality. We are here to dance with it, to co-create with the unknown, to meet life as it comes, with courage in the heart and softness in the hands. Trust doesn't mean passive waiting. It means present allowing. It means taking aligned steps, even when the outcome is uncertain. It means listening to the inner yes, even when the mind screams no. It means honoring what you feel even when it doesn't make logical sense. When you trust, you give permission for life to move through you, not just for you. And that is where the magic happens. Because the universe is not impressed by control. It is activated by coherence. When your energy says, I trust, you become a match to higher outcomes. Not because you manipulated them, but because you became ready for them. You don't have to know the how. You just have to say yes to the now. So breathe. Let go of the grip. Stop micromanaging the mystery. And remember, you were never meant to carry it all. You are not the doer of everything. You are the receiver of divine flow. Trust turns your body into a temple, your mind into a gateway, your life into a sacred unfolding. Not because everything is perfect, but because you finally stopped needing it to be. The truth is simple. When you deeply trust, you become deeply available to be guided, supported, and surprised by grace. And that is how the most effortless manifestations arise. Not from effort, but from alignment with the intelligence of life itself. Chapter 8. The Art of Letting Go. Letting go is not giving up. It is not weakness. It is not defeat. Letting go is an act of power, a sacred surrender to the intelligence of life. Most of us were taught to hold on to expectations, hold on to plans, hold on to identities, relationships, timelines. We believe that letting go means losing control. But in truth, holding on too tightly is the loss of freedom. Have you ever clung to something so hard that you couldn't breathe? An outcome, a person, a story about yourself. The tighter you grip, the more life resists. Because flow cannot exist in force. Letting go is not about abandoning your dreams. It's about releasing the attachment to how they must arrive. It is about trusting the form to change, while keeping your heart open to the essence. When we let go, we open space. Space for grace. Space for something wiser, softer, more aligned to arrive. You are not here to chase what is not meant for you. You are here to receive what is in resonance with your truth. And sometimes the greatest alignment requires the greatest release. Letting go might mean walking away from something once loved. It might mean forgiving what can't be undone. It might mean choosing peace over proof. It hurts, yes, but in the pain of release, there is also rebirth. You begin to feel lighter, clearer, more honest with yourself, and life, sensing that you are no longer clinging, can finally flow in. Letting go is not one moment. It is a practice, a way of being. It is saying each day, I trust that what is mine will stay, and what is not will leave, clearing space for something better. It is choosing presence over past, trust over tension, flow over force. You do not need to hold the world together. Let yourself rest. Let life hold you. Because the truth is, you were never meant to carry it all. There is a deeper rhythm already guiding you, but you cannot hear it if your hands are full. So open your palms. Exhale the need to control. And know this, every time you let go of what you thought you needed, you move closer to what your soul truly desires. Letting go isn't loss. It's liberation. It's the art of trusting your becoming. More than your clinging, it's the quiet revolution that says, I no longer chase, I allow. And that is when miracles happen. Chapter 9, Becoming the Space for Miracles. Miracles are not manufactured. They are allowed. They don't come from forcing, fixing, or frantic effort. They come when the mind quiets and the heart opens. We think miracles are rare, extraordinary, something reserved for the lucky or the chosen. But the truth is, miracles are natural. They are not exceptions to the rule. They are the rule, in a world not blocked by resistance. So why do they feel so rare? Because we are often too full. Full of plans, full of expectations, full of noise. We have no room for the miraculous to enter. Becoming the space for miracles means creating emptiness. Not a void of lack, but a spaciousness of readiness. You do not need to deserve miracles. You simply need to become available to them. Imagine a flower blooming. It does not strive. It does not beg the sun to rise. It simply opens and receives. You too are designed to open, to become soft, not hard, receptive, not defensive. The universe speaks in stillness, in the gaps between your thoughts, in the surrender between your efforts. When you slow down, miracles catch up. To become the space for miracles means you trust in timing. You no longer try to outrun the unfolding. You allow. You become a living prayer, not by asking for more, but by being present with what already is. That presence, that deep availability, is magnetic. It tells life, I am not just asking for change. I am ready for it. I am not just visualizing abundance. I am aligned with it. Miracles are not about bending reality to your will. They are about meeting life so fully that reality bends to your openness. To become the space for miracles, you must unclench the fists of expectation and return to the breath of now. You must be willing to feel, to trust, to live without constant strategy. You become the miracle not by doing more, but by being more truly yourself. Let silence speak. Let intuition guide. Let your very being become an invitation. Because the most miraculous things in life, healing, forgiveness, divine timing, love you didn't expect, answers you didn't seek, they all arise in the moment you stop chasing and start allowing. You were never separate from the miraculous. You simply needed to make space. And when you do, life steps in, not to impress you, but to remind you, you are the miracle you've been waiting for. Chapter 10, The Power of Simply Being. In a world obsessed with doing, the greatest rebellion is simply being. Not hustling, not striving, not constantly proving your worth. Just being, fully, presently, unapologetically. For so long, you've been taught to measure your value by your output, your performance, your productivity. But who you are is not what you do. It is not the money you make, the goals you reach, or the recognition you receive. Who you are is the quiet awareness underneath it all. The stillness that watches, the breath that continues, the heart that loves without needing to earn. When you rest in your being, you remember your essence. You realize that peace is not a destination, but your natural state. Love is not something to achieve, but something you already are. Being doesn't mean passivity. It means presence. It means showing up to life without filters or performance. When you drop the masks, when you stop chasing the next thing, you discover the now. And in the now, everything changes. The world slows down. Your mind softens. Life feels more alive, more spacious. You no longer fight reality. You flow with it. You stop asking, what should I do? And start listening for, who am I being? Because your being speaks louder than your words. It carries a vibration, a frequency, an invitation to others to remember their own truth. When you live from being, you naturally attract what's aligned. Not because you're manipulating outcomes, but because you're embodying your essence. From being comes clarity. From being comes intuition. From being comes effortless creation. The river doesn't push to reach the ocean. It simply flows. You are that river. You don't need to force your way forward. You are already on your path. And the more you rest in who you are, the more life begins to organize itself around your truth. So ask yourself not what's next, but what is present. Not how do I get there, but can I fully arrive here? In this moment, in this breath, in this being, because the power of simply being is that it reconnects you to everything you were seeking. Peace, love, purpose, connection. Not outside of you, but within. You are the presence. You are the light. You are the truth. And your being is more than enough. Always has been. Always will be. Ending narration. Take a deep breath. Let it settle into the space you've created. Not with effort, But with presence, you don't need to become someone new. You are remembering the truth you've carried all along. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not late. You are aligned with the rhythm of something deeper, something ancient, timeless, and true. So let this be a gentle reminder. Reality is not something to chase. It's something you are co-creating. With every breath, every choice, every moment of stillness. Thank you for being here, for listening, for awakening. This is not the end, but the beginning of a more honest, more aligned way of living. And whenever you forget, just return to being. That is where all miracles begin.